And most of you guys probably know what Apex Legends is by now. It's a game that I really like. And when I play it, I would have never thought something scary would ever come up out of it. So, I was playing Apex Legends as Wraith, as I usually do. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it lags me out of the game, which usually happens with me. So I wasn't too irritated, because I'm used to it lagging me out a lot. But the different thing about me lagging out this time, was when it lagged me out, I had to watch a cutscene when it came on. As soon as I logged back in, a cutscene just started playing. And I was so confused, because I didn't know what it was about. And as soon as it started playing, all it showed was a Wraith. And all around her, she was in a pitch black room. And I thought this was weird. But then words in white just appeared, and it kept on saying, "Help me," over and over again. And then all of a sudden, lights turn on, and it turns out she's just sitting there in a mental asylum, which I just thought it was playing the season 2 cutscene, and I was like, oh, okay. But the different thing about this one was she was grabbed, picked up, and thrown. And while this was all happening, she was screaming. It was a blood-pitch scream. I couldn't hear anything other than the scream. And it showed as when she went into the portal, she opened a portal, and as soon as she opened the portal, that's when stuff started happening. She went through it like she usually does, but this time, it was all black and had stars. So I thought she somehow got into outer space. But then, all of a sudden, a red face just appears out of nowhere. And then I realize it's a devil, because its horns, and it's standing over her, watching her every movement, making sure nothing is wrong. And he says that all the voices that she's been hearing is him. And she gets really scared, not believing him. And the scream was still happening. And then he goes into a form that makes him look like a human, but with red skin. He says that he did it so when it causes much fear to her, because she's probably really scared. And then after that, not only did the demon start talking to her, he told her about how she ever got in trouble by people getting shot at, or if anything happened to her, she could just come back to this place. But he did say one thing though, that when she did come here, she had to be careful, because she could die instantly there, because they did not like outsiders. He kept on saying this over and over again. And then she realized what he meant by outsiders. He saw as many different people were just on chains and just getting killed. She said, why? Why do I have this? He said, 'cause you're the only one that we need to keep safe. But if you ever come here, other people might try and kill you. And when that happened, I went up to turn off my console. But then as soon as that happened, I saw myself, the demon. He was right. He was staring right at me, and no longer the Wraith. And he said, if you ever die, if you ever use the portal again, you will be teleported back to this realm. But not in the game, in real life. And I was scared. I looked back to the TV to continue watching. And it sounded like it was coming from my head. And I thought I heard it perfectly as day. But no, he was just talking to Wraith. Over and over again, he kept on saying, if you come here, I will kill you. And he kept on saying it. And then the screams, they just came back. Then the demon started to chase her, and she did the only thing she knew how to get away. She ran, and then she took the portal out. So when she did that, she was back at the asylum. And it looked just like the regular cutscene. She's back at the asylum. But when it's the part where she's about to escape, the doctors knew about what she could do. And the other Wraith never appeared. This time, it was the demon. He came and showed the doctors a lesson. As he digged his claws into all the doctors' stomachs, ripping out their intestines. He kept on doing it over and over until there was no one left. And then Wraith was scared, thinking that she was still back in the place, but it looked just like her hospital. And the demon said, this is the hospital, but I just had to save you from what they were gonna do to you. And he went on to tell her about how they were gonna kill her right then and there. And the demon, he said that if anyone got in the way, he would make sure that none of them would live. And he said the easiest thing he can do, he recommended Wraith to go to the Apex games so she can win most of them. He said every time she left alive, he would tell her a little bit more about the truth about her people and why she was the one that was chosen to be able to teleport to his land and back to the regular world. And then, just like that, he disappeared. And then, just like the regular cutscene from Season 2, Wraith leaves the building, but instead of leaving it all confused, she leaves it with blood all over her, and she's shaking because she knows that if she wins, she'll learn more about it, but if she doesn't, she'll die.